You are watching yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Wednesday, Friday, or Saturday, and you know what those days mean. It's time for another AEW Event Center report for either Dynamite, Rampage, or Collision. And now, here is the host of the AEW Event Center Wrestling Report, New Bedford's version of Tony Schiavone, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode 1715 of the show. How's it going, everybody? Hope everyone is having a very blessed day, and hope you are staying strong where you're at. And I know you got some people out there going through some tough times and rough times. Let me be the one to cheer you guys up and have a little bit of fun with you guys. All right, we'll talk some wrestling right now, of course. AEW Dynamite, the 5th anniversary show that happened last night. We're going to talk a little bit about that. This group involving Jon Moxley, Pac, Claudio Castagnoli, and Marina Shafir addresses Wheeler Yuta and Bryan Danielson. Pac and Claudio, who are trios champions with Wheeler, tell him to make a decision. Meanwhile, Marina Shafir said something in, I think, she's from Croatia, I think? Said something in a foreign language, but couldn't make it out what language it was. But then Jon Moxley addressed Bryan Danielson. And meanwhile, before the international title match to kick off the 5th anniversary celebration of AEW Dynamite, Don Callis, Kyle Fletcher, and Konosuke Takeshita was hanging out with Will Ospreay before the match. Even before the match, you know, Don Callis believed in Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher too. So Kyle, we got a plane to catch. So, and they had the matchup between Will Ospreay and Ricochet. Both men's shoulders were pinned down to the mat. The referee counted 3. Was end up in a draw, but the fans were not very happy. So Will Ospreay and Ricochet kind of looked at each other and said, "I think we got to keep going. We need to keep going." And the referee, the fans wanted it. So Tony Khan must have overheard it and said, "Hey, let's continue the match." So the match continues, and then Konosuke Takeshita came back out, attacking Will Ospreay, giving Will Ospreay the win by a disqualification because he attacked Ospreay first, but then he attacked Ricochet as well. And then Takeshita was holding the international title, and now he wants it. Will Ospreay and Ricochet agree to put Takeshita in the matchup? We shall see. Renee Paquette doing a lot of interviewing. She interviewed Mercedes Moné, but MVP interrupts Moné, hands her his business card. What is MVP up to? And then Renee Paquette interviewed the Guns, and they were about to say the juice is loose. He's ready to get you, Adam Page. Adam Page did attack them. Laid them out in the back. Meanwhile, it's TV time with the Learning Tree Chris Jericho, along with the Redwood Big Bill and the Bad Apple Brian Keith. And he was talking about the Tornado Trios matchup. And he pinned Mark Briscoe. And so he issued a challenge to Mark Briscoe for the Ring of Honor World title. He said the Ocho is going to be gone. It'll be the Nueve. Right? Here goes Mark Briscoe with the conglomeration team with Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy, and Rocky Romero. They come out. And then, you know, and then Mark Briscoe said, "You know what, guys? Let me handle this." And so they stayed at ringside. Chris Jericho goes, "Stay at ringside. I'll get you when I need you." And then Mark Briscoe did give him, Chris Jericho, some props, and one of the best in the world, you know. And he was considering the challenge. And then he said, "I believe I could beat you." But Jericho goes, "Can you beat me? I know your brother can. Your brother could have." And then Mark Briscoe slapped Jericho across the face. And then accepts the challenge. So I'll tell you what, Jericho, you're a stupid idiot. Don't mention any relatives, including dead ones. Who you are, Christian Cage, all of a sudden? Oh my goodness. Well, Darby Allin decided to issue an open challenge for a match at Wrestle Dream. Who will it be to accept the challenge? You never know who's going to accept it. Now, Juice Robinson and Adam Page went one-on-one. Page ended up winning the matchup, but then he tried to hang Robinson with his belt after the matchup. But then, out of nowhere, Switchblade Jay White makes his return, and they went at it, and Jay White puts Adam Page through a table, and then he got back up and checked on Juice. Juice walks away easily. Renee Paquette was interviewing Jack Perry until Katsuyori Shibata got in his face, and then through his Google Translate on his phone, he says, "You and me, TNT title, Wrestle Dream." And then Jack Perry looks at him, "I'll think about it." And then as Katsuyori Shibata was about to talk to Renee Paquette, Jack Perry attacked him from behind, and he says, "I accept." Really? Really, Jack? Really? You know, I should call him Jackass Perry. Cheapest. That guy, that kid's a punk. Anna Jay, dump him. Anyways, so there's that. And Danielson responds to John Moxley saying, "You think this is all about you? It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about AEW. It's about this title. There's something more going on." And I think Bryan Danielson is not getting. And I got a hunch that this has got to be bigger. This war is going to get bigger and bigger after Wrestle Dream. And then he addresses Kazuchika Okada. And here's the interesting stipulation about this matchup. It's title for title. Both titles are on the line. But for the first 20 minutes of the match, only the Continental title is on the line. So that was this huge stipulation. Meanwhile, women's action, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. And this took place in Pittsburgh. In her hometown of Pittsburgh against Serena Deeb. What a matchup this was, but Baker capitalized on the mistake by Deeb, locked in the lockjaw, and Deeb tapped out, Baker to victory. As Serena Deeb was continuing to attack Britt Baker, trying to embarrass her in front of family and friends, Queen Aminata came to Baker's aid. Meanwhile, while this is going on, Mariah May has been watching the match inside the ringside seats. Well, it seems to me that Mariah May, the AEW Women's World Champion, got a lot on her plate. I'll explain. But meanwhile, Renee Paquette interviewed Hook, who just found out his father, Taz, was attacked in the parking lot before AEW Dynamite, the 5th anniversary, got started. And Nigel McGuinness had to fill in for Taz. And Hook goes, whoever is responsible for this, they're going to get it. And rightfully so, he was frustrated and he walked away. And Christian Cage addresses to be the next AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And we don't know when he's going to cash in that championship. Well, that contract. But once he does, I'm sure whoever's the champion, whether it be Bryan Danielson or someone else, they'll be ready. Now going back to Mariah May, Renee Paquette was interviewing her, and then she revealed to Mariah May that Mina Shirakawa went back to Japan to compete in Stardom to team up with Timeless Tony Storm, Mariah May's former mentor. Now that makes it quite interesting because Timeless Tony Storm. Now I'm going to check this. Let's see if I can find it here. Give me a second. Alright. Let's see. Stardom World. World Ring Winner Stardom. Let's see. There wasn't Stardom. Alright. So. Let's see. Yep. But Saturday, October the 5th, though, Mayu Iwatani will defend the IWGP Women's Championship against Timeless Tony Storm. That's going to be a good matchup for sure. And meanwhile, And let's see. Let's see. All right. So in a trios matchup, Mina Shirakawa, Micah, and Timeless Tony Storm defeated Mayu Iwatani and Wing Gory in a trios matchup. So that's a huge deal. And I'm very shocked that Mariah May, when Renee Paquette revealed this to her, Mariah May said, "I want to talk about Willow Nightingale." She's dodging the question, or does she have a master plan set in motion, or did she already know via social media that Mina Shirakawa was going to do this? Well, we shall see. Now, Willow Nightingale interrupts Mariah May. And then all of a sudden, Mariah May says something to Willow Nightingale. Nightingale slaps May. Those two have a fight. And Christopher Daniels and the referees and security break it up. Meanwhile, Private Party against Iron Savages. Private Party did win the matchup. And Stokely Hathaway was watching the matchup from the back. What is he up to now? Private Party decided to call the Young Bucks to challenge them for the AEW World Tag Team titles again. Young Bucks came out and they said, "Hey, what's this 5th-year show without us?" And they decided to back out. Meanwhile, Jack Perry came back to the ring and attacked Private Party. And then the Young Bucks decided to take advantage of it. Then Katsuyori Shibata got involved. And then Christopher Daniels says, "You know what? How about this Friday on Rampage? It will be a trios matchup. Katsuyori Shibata and Private Party versus the Elite." And Renee Paquette interviewed MVP, and MVP is about to introduce somebody, and then Prince Nana interrupts him, and he was like, "I'll lace the boots for you." And then he goes, if you have a problem, talk to my complaint department. Ladies and gentlemen, my complaint department. Camera pans over to Nana's right, to Nana's left. Shelton Benjamin has now joined AEW. What is going on? And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, it's going to get crazy. That's for sure. And then Shelton Benjamin grabs coffee and drinks it. Good coffee. Meanwhile, the main event, the AEW World and Continental titles are both on the line. Bryan Danielson, the World Champion, defending against Kazuchika Okada, the Continental Champion. And like I said before, the first 20 minutes, the Continental title was only on the line. That means nobody would interfere. This matchup could have gone either way. Danielson ended up winning the matchup after Okada was noticing Pac, Claudio Castagnoli, Marina Shafir all appearing at ringside. And then afterwards, after the matchup, Okada was attacking Danielson after the matchup. Pac and Claudio held him hostage while Moxley addresses Danielson. This is not about me too. You're right. It's not about me either. It's like something bigger is going on. There's a bigger picture in the works. And meanwhile, Willie Yuta helps Danielson out. Willie Yuta's getting sick and tired of Claudio and Pac telling him what to do. He says, "I'm not a child anymore. I'll tell you one thing. You two against us two, collision tag team matchup." And that match is going to happen there. And Danielson decided to issue that challenge. Well, that's all the time we have for AEW Dynamite last night, October the 2nd, 2024. Next up will be another episode of Network Throwdown Thursday, Press Your Luck, where a rare event happened on the last week's episode, as you've seen it already. Yeah, ABC version. When I played it, no whammies. How well will we do this time? What? Will the same thing happen? I don't know. We'll find out. And until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, do it for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.